This story has been told in many countries, in many different ways. Today, I'll share a Japanese telling of it. There's an old Japanese belief: when someone waits too long for the one they love, their spirits may continue waiting, even after death. This is one of those stories. Long ago, during a time of war and hunger, there lived a man named Ichiro. He was a farmer's son, newlywed, living at the edge of a mountain village. Every morning, mist rolled in like a visitor that never learned when to leave. Ichiro's life was simple: rough hands from the fields, warm meals, quiet nights, and his wife, Kiku. They'd been married for only 1 year when the order came. Men were needed for war. Ichiro did not choose to go. He was summoned. In those days, a man cannot refuse his lord's order. Obedience meant punishment, even death, not just for him, but for those he loved. On the morning he was carried away, Kiku helped him prepare. There was no armor, no helmet, only simple clothes, straw sandals, and a spear placed into his hands like a borrowed fate. "You'll come back," Kiku said quietly. Ichiro promised her that he would. He bowed deeply, stepped onto the mountain road, and forced himself not to look back, because he feared if he did, he would never leave. War changed Ichiro. At first, he fought only to survive. He learned quickly hesitation meant death. He learned to move before thinking, to listen for dangers, to stand when others fell. Battle after battle, it hardened him. Ichiro became known not for his strength, but for his steadiness. When others panicked, he remained. When formations broke, he held the line. During one battle, chaos swallowed the field. The enemy pushed deep. Ichiro's lord was thrown from his horse. Men fell all around him. Without thinking, Ichiro ran forward. He shielded his lord with his body, fought back attackers with his spear, dragged him to safety as arrows struck the ground nearby. Ichiro survived. His lord did not forget. From that day on, Ichiro was given better weapons, better armor, then command, then promotion. He was no longer just a farmer with a spear. He became a trusted warrior. With promotion came rewards, coins, fine cloth, gifts meant for a future he believed still waited for him. Ichiro endured the war believing it all had meaning now, that the waiting would be forgiven, that the suffering would be understood. 2 years later, peace came throughout the land. Ichiro was able to return back home. He carried riches wrapped in cloth, silver coins, silk, and a finely carved wooden comb chosen specially for Kiku. He imagined her surprise, her smile, the life they would finally begin again. And he approached the mountain path. Something felt wrong. The air was too still. No birds, no insects. Even the wind seemed unwilling to pass through. The village appeared from the fog, like a place remembered, not lived in. Fields laid wild, houses leaned inward. The shrine bell hung silent, and yet One light burned. It shone from the window of his home. Relief flooded Ichiro's chest. She waited. She waited for me. The door slid open before he touched it. Kiku stood inside. She looked exactly as she had the day he left. Hair neatly tied, kimono untouched by time. "You've come back," she said softly. Her voice held no surprise, no relief, only certainty. That night, they sat together by the hearth. Ichiro spoke of the war, of battles, and how he had been promoted throughout the whole battle and the war. He placed the cloth-wrapped gift boxes before her and told her they would never worry about food again. Kiku smiled. She listened. She nodded, but she never touched the gifts. Ichiro noticed something strange. The fire gave no warmth. The tea had no steam. And though Kiku sat close, her presence felt distant, like something already fading. When he reached for her hand, it was cold, not painful, just empty of warmth. Still, Ichiro said nothing. For the first time in years, he slept peacefully. He woke alone. Morning light streamed through broken walls. The hearth had collapsed. Dust covered the floor, thick, undisturbed. The house was empty. Villagers stood outside in silence. They looked older, smaller. Their eyes avoided him. An elderly man stepped forward and bowed deeply. "Your wife died," he said. "Fever took her the winter after you left. She waited for you until the very end." Ichiro could not speak. He laughed because he thought they were joking with him. That laughter turned to terror and shock. He ran to the hillside beneath the pine trees where the villagers say they buried Kiku. There stood a single grave. At its base lay the gifts that he brought home, now damp with dew. Fresh footprints led away from the grave. Ichiro knelt down until night fell, crying, wailing, and disgusted of what had happened. Some say he died of grief. Others say he stayed. Because even now, when fog rolls through the valley, a faint light still glows in that ruined house. And sometimes, travelers swear they see a man dressed in armor sitting beside a woman who waited long enough to die. In Japanese ghost stories, spirits do not always return in anger. They do not always hunt others. Some return because love was stronger than time, stronger than war, stronger than death. These are not monsters. They are the ones who waited.